Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenore and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aries. If Aries is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so tonight we have the Aeon card. And often the Aeon card indicates some kind of big decision, some kind of large change in your life. Okay, and let's go ahead and see what these tea leaves have to say. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. So it looks like we have, it almost looks like two Capricorn goats, right? The sea goats. So we have two of those. So I wonder if you have major Capricorn placements or if you have a Capricorn person or two in your life that are in kind of fundamental positions, kind of like mom, dad, maybe a spouse or significant other, maybe children, somebody or something like this. It seems like a lot of Capricorn influence. Well, this one's kind of cool. Look at this. It looks like it says K and then T, but look, it looks like it's like elongated. That's really interesting. Some of these formations, they just blow my mind. So it looks like maybe the name Katie or KT. And it looks like we have somebody dancing down here. Maybe with a baby. We also have a fish here, a little, kind of a smaller one, but an indicator of maybe some wealth. Oh, shoot. I'm just kicking everything over here. This is my last reading of the night. And I am just, you can tell, I've been doing one after another, starting to kick things. So I wonder if there is a new baby coming into the family. We also have the heart here. Okay, so this is a really important and beloved moment for the family as a collective. Maybe the first child in quite a while. Maybe it's the first grandchild or great-grandchild. But I do feel there's so much joyousness around this event. Okay. And with the fish here, I do feel like there is a sense of financial security surrounding this situation. So that is a wonderful thing. As we all know, having a kid, no matter how little money you have, how much, or if you have a ton of money, either way, very stressful, right? But when you have at least the financial security to kind of cover the basic things, that is so helpful, okay? So I do think that this is a situation that I almost think is like a planned one, okay? It seems like something that maybe has been in the workings for a while here. So that seems like a big blessing. Okay. So we have 42, the number 42. So I feel like there's something tied to rafting, maybe whitewater rafting or on the river kind of rafting. We have a person rafting up here. I know that's not something most people have done, right? When I was a kid, I grew up in Sacramento, so we have the American River among a bunch of other rivers. In the area up there, but I spent a lot of time in the river, and I went rafting and kayaking and all kinds of things on the river. Tubing, one of my favorites. And I feel like, well, now we have a person here with a baby carriage. Okay. I almost feel like this is kind of the change. It seems like there's kind of this shift from really kind of being able to pursue whatever it is that you want, right? And then there's a child coming into the picture. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be your child, and maybe this has already come to pass, right? But there is this energy of at least remembering what it was like to go from being able to do whatever you want, kind of living for your own pleasure, to suddenly taking care of somebody else, keeping them alive, keeping them not only alive, but hopefully, growing and flourishing. And so I do feel like there's this energy where it's almost kind of, I can hear you telling this person, and I really feel like this maybe is your grandchild, or maybe your niece or nephew is having a child, really, kind of telling them, this is a time where you're going to have to grow up. You're going to have to, figure this out, and, you can't put yourself first anymore, at least for a little while, right? And I don't think it's necessarily a worry, but I think, we all feel a little worried when the kids in our family start having kids, and maybe they're not even kids anymore. They might be like 30 years old, and you think, okay, these are the kids in the family. They're all grown up now. But yeah, we do, there's always kind of that thing in the back of your head thinking like, they're really going to be in for one, aren't they? Everything's about to change. So I do. But I think ultimately you, as being kind of that loving, caring, open-minded, non-judgmental resource for them, to come to you when they need help, when they have questions, so often, I think, when somebody is having a kid, you get a lot of bad advice or unrealistic advice. And especially if you are on the internet looking at these kind of like, I don't know, what is it called? Like child, like parent, I don't even know. What is that called? Where it's like really curated parent accounts where they show their kids. Everything is like white and cream colored, and the house is all made, it's all decorated in a way where everything matches, and you're just like, how does anybody obtain that? Is that realistic? Well, when you're having a child and you're in the throes of postpartum or even nesting and all of that, yeah, you could buy into that pretty easily, I think. And it's an unrealistic standard. I mean, there's no way, unless you have a lot of money and you can hire a bunch of people, there's no way. So having somebody who's going to be real with you, having somebody who's going to tell you, the truth about things. Now, not horrify them or really scare them, right? But to be real, this is what's going to happen. This is, it's okay. And it's okay, by the way. For me, I breastfed my daughter for 3 years. They call it extended breastfeeding. I don't know why they call it that, because it felt, in some cultures, people breastfeed until 5 or 6 years old. I got a lot of grief from people around me about, why am I going so long? Is it good for the baby? This, that. Everybody had a dang opinion. I didn't care. I did not care. The first, few months I was worried about it and I needed help. And, I was going to like a pure lactation person or whatever. But then you figure it out or you don't. Either way is fine. There's no wrong way to feed the baby, right? Fed is best is what I think that's like the motto or whatever. And it's true. Fed is best. But I'm kind of the family member now, or the friend in the friend group that, went through it for a long time. And I like that I can talk to people honestly about it and be the support, non-judgmental, not pushy. I think that's important that everybody has somebody like that. It's, we hope that we find somebody that will support us in that way. So I feel like you are kind of that person for whoever this is that's going through these first parts of having a child. And if this is the case, I want to tell you, you have no idea what an angel you are for this person, for the people around you. To be a real honest, open and loving and caring and supportive person. These are some of the hardest times in somebody's life. Those first, days, weeks, months of having their first kid, especially. And so, beautiful energy. Definitely makes sense. It's in Aries. Actually, one of my best friend is an Aries, and she was definitely one of the few people I took advice from when my baby was a little tiny girl. She gave me the best advice, so it makes sense to me that this would be an Aries person. Okay, so let's see, what else do we have going on here? We have a hummingbird. We have a person lying down. So kind of dualistic. We have the hummingbird who is busy, lots of projects. The mind going 1,000,000 miles per hour, multitasking always. But then also the restfulness, okay? And it's important to make sure that you are getting your rest where you can and taking care of yourself in that way. We also have, again, a couple of fish here. So I do feel like you're working really hard to meet your goals, okay? And I feel like saving money, paying off debts or whatever, that's something that you're really focused on in this part of your life. And I see there are signs here that this is actually really happening for you, okay? Not just kind of going in circles with it. So that's a very fortunate happening. The world we live in right now, it's not easy. So the work that you're doing, paying off more and more. But again, the rest, you have to have that. You can't burn yourself out trying to, make this shmoney. So make sure that you are getting at least restful sleep. But also doing all the other things like intentional movement, eating well, whatever that looks like for you. And let's see. We also have 412, the number 412. Okay, so we have, it looks like, I'm going to say this is a pheasant, which are so beautiful. We have a pheasant. Ooh, we have kind of a little angry face. We have a sad face. Ooh, I feel like this is an ex. You know what? It feels like it's an ex and their icky new significant other. And not icky because of what they look like or whatever. Their attitude. They just have, this feels like a very jealous person. And somebody who lives in their weird fantasy world too. I just feel like this is somebody who's always trying to talk down about you. And I feel like you just, you just rise above it. I think you just ignore it for the most part. Now we have a doorway right here. So I feel like it's kind of like you're turning over this new leaf. You're not going to let this stuff bother you anymore. We have that pheasant, a really beautiful, regal looking bird. Just living in your own realm, not letting it bother you. This ex, I don't know why they're still around. It may be that you share kids or, something like this. But pay them no mind, neither of them. Not worth the energy. So we also have the Wild Offering Oracle cards, and I'm just going to go ahead and flip through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. Okay, and it says courage. Divine courage is not the absence of fear, but a nudge that says, keep going, do it. Don't worry, all will be well. You have to get quiet enough to hear it. Dear Divine, may I feel your courage and your will. Beautiful. All right, Aries, I'm going to tell you I love you because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you have not, yes, no. I was looking at the clock really quick. Sorry. It is free to subscribe. If you want to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. Other than that, I just want to tell you I love you and I thank you. What else? I think that's it. This is my last reading. I think this is my 7th reading today. I was so behind because I took some days off for my daughter's birthday party and stuff. And my goodness, my throat is about to give up on itself. So I'm going to hurry up and head out. There are what are they called? Snapping turtles and painted turtles all over the front yard, all over the side yard. They are coming out of the lake to lay their eggs. So every time I go outside, there's like a huge snapping turtle out there. This morning there was one by the garbage can. It gave me almost a heart attack. I was like, what is this dinosaur just hanging out here? What are you doing here? So I want to go see if I can see any of them laying eggs. I haven't seen them in the process of doing it, but I'm hoping that I will. And I'm also hoping they don't do it on the driveway. We have some loose gravel for part of the driveway there, and that's where they like to do it. So hoping not. I fully am going to maybe fence it in for the first little while so the raccoons don't get to the eggs. I'm going to help a mama out. Keep the eggs safe if I can. But yeah, it's a wild time. We have been seeing them all over the road. People stopping. I saw a guy out there yesterday with an old kayak paddle, getting them off the road, helping them cross. So we live in an area where there's a lot of lakes and stuff, and they're all over. It's fully turtle crossing, and so it's exciting times over here. All right, Aries, I love you so much. Take care of yourself tonight, tomorrow, every day in between. We'll talk soon. I keep thinking there was something I wanted to add. I guess maybe just go over and check out my husband over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. His name is Paul. He is wonderful. You've probably seen him before. He does wonderful tarot readings. He has been thinking about maybe doing some more all signs readings. He did one last week that was amazing, and so I don't know. Let's cheer him on to get on that. I think he does really well when he does them all kind of back to back to back. he gets in the vibe. Spirit is right there with him. So, yeah, maybe go over there and leave him a comment. Tell him I sent you over. All right. Love you guys. Bye-bye.